hopefully. The first job is to rasp all of this, scarring it really badly so that when the adhesive goes on, and I'm going to put I'm going to cover it with araldite, because araldite will stick to most things, and then that will give us surface for the resin that I'm using. So hopefully that will sort it. It won't matter if it doesn't, because as I say, I'm going to coat the whole lot in woven roving, so the woven roving itself will be in position rather than anything else. Now my fifth skeg, and you can see they're so flimsy, there's hardly anything to them. So this time we're going to experiment. I'm going to pour some resin in there, and when I get to the top I'm going to put some silica and resin on the top, and then put some woven roving over the top as well. Hopefully that will start to see to the problem, one hopes. One can't guarantee, one certainly hopes. So I'll put some woven roving over the top there, like that. Once we've got some silica in, and then that will reinforce all of that, hopefully. And then we'll drill some holes there, and then on the other side tomorrow we'll do the top end and all of this, and we'll see what we end up with. Right, go Roy. Now the araldite is set, I can now cut out the woven roving to size, place that on and build it up. Hopefully that will do the job. Make sure you bang that, get all the air bubbles out, and it doesn't really matter. So, just adding the silica now, mixing it with the resin that's left, and then to make a plate over the top.
So we've got a smaller container. It's going to fill lots in there. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. Oops, that was rather loose, right? I need everything near that with this. Just as we approach the top there.
A nice creamy butter. Mixed here. I should have plugged up the holes. Top lid won't cause too much of a problem. I need to go that on there, like so. Just make sure that that's soaked in. Have a brush somewhere. Top's done on there. Trim that, and then just need to put some holes through there. But the next thing is getting this to fit now. Obviously I've got to put the grooves in to take this at the bottom there to make it sit properly. When it's on, it should go there. Now this is another design flaw with this thing. If you look at the propeller height there, you're looking at a fraction between that and that. Therefore, if you're going along and you go into mud which is about this thick, okay, it'll plough through that, but then your propeller gets caught in the mud and that will just snap the shape in, as it's done many times on this. So the idea is to build this up to about that height to take the mud and hopefully prevent the shaping from going every 5 seconds.
Having created the base, I'm now going onto the main sheet, which will cover the whole of the actual skeg, to make sure that that's reinforced all the way around. I've cut enough length to go right over the top and over the sides. You should see that as I fit it. I've also allowed enough to make a loop at the top where I will pour additional resin into to make it firm, because I'm extending the length of the actual skeg. Next there you can now see the skeg there inside this case of woven and resin and silica.
Oh well, I'll leave that now, let that set. And then once that's set, I'll be pouring resin in that top section. Final stage now is to pull that. Slightly squeeze that in. I've got tape around the bottom to stop it pulling out. Pull that and get that to a solid state really. And that then hopefully will be it. We'll find out. Just to say, once I know it's an odd looking shape that, but once this is done, I'll file it down, sand it down to the correct shape, so we've got a decent shape about it.
Once that's all set, the next job was to mix some clear resin again and then pour that in the loop I spoke about earlier. This will create a stronger bond between the top, the extended, the extension really to the skeg. I fill that up and then wait till that sets and then sand all that down accordingly. But the main thing is to get as good a bond as I can, because working with the skeg, as I say, I've put in araldite as a base layer and then attach the resin, because it's a very, very slippy plastic that the skeg's made out of. Unfortunately, I wish it was as good as in strength as it is in slippiness.
All done now. So long as it's still needs a coat on, but so long as it's functional, that's the main thing. What I've done, as you know, I've glassed all of this. I put woven over it, and unfortunately, because the bolt snapped on this side, and I couldn't get it out, so couldn't even drill it out. So what I've done, I've glued this down now, put another one in, because I'm hoping this is not going to snap at the least thing. As you can see, there's the propeller length now, so that should dig in the mud far before this gets caught, because that was a big problem. And lo and behold, in the middle of doing all of this, as I tipped it up just to work on it, as you do, this fell off, and that's the tilt stop that you need to stop this tilting, and it just fell off. How about that? As I say, what quality this job is, you know, I mean, how good is that? I must have used that all of 20 times tops, and it just falls off. I mean, admittedly, the whole thing now is about, well, I think it's 5 years old, but I don't use it that often. I very rarely use it. But there you go, you see, channel 1003, and I've had to do my own modifications. Everything falls off. I can see myself making a propeller soon, because these propellers don't last long either, and now this is falling off. Ha! Great stuff.